And then on to sort of product portfolio capabilities. I'll go through this a little bit more quickly because there's more information that you can obtain either on the website or via other different webcasts that we've recorded on the extranet. But we have different equipment that go up to 100 megabits of capacity, or even 300 megabits in sort of licensed microwave space. We have access points that offer up to 300 megabits in the dual radio configuration for indoors. Carrier grade advanced security. So this is military grade stuff. If you need it, AES 256 or AES encryption 128. These are sort of technologies that are incorporated in different types of products that we have. Advanced security, and this is an important factor because this is essentially what enables us to satisfy these larger deployments such as LA County for video surveillance. Without the ability to actually provide carrier-grade QoS, you would not be able to tailor config the radio network to provide you with the less than 1 second polling cycle that they need for traffic signal sort of synchronization between the signal itself and the actual monitoring station. So you wouldn't be able to do this at all without the carrier-grade QoS capabilities or programming and flexibility capabilities within the product itself. And there are many other things in this and in our products. Flexible channel planning worldwide. We cover, depending on the product that you adopt, as well as whether you have these frequencies available to you in the countries that you're deploying. Coverage between 4.4 to 6.4, coverage between 2.3 to 2.5 gigahertz. We also have licensed products that go from 6 gigahertz all the way up to 28 gigahertz, assuming that you have these frequencies available to you. Our products can support it. Again, dual gigabit Ethernet ports here. This is one of those sort of unique differentiators for us. We enable the ability to power other devices such as an IP camera directly from our radio. Centralized management. Large deployments, you have to have centralized management. We have a central Proxim Vision ES tool that allows us to do monitoring. In very large installs, it's very likely that the network requires some form of HP OpenView, some sort of very large network monitoring solutions. And so Proxim Vision ES is a good tool, sort of mid-sized tool to be able to track our own networks, to do some simple monitoring as well as tracking. If you're looking at large tools, there's ways to actually talk to our equipment as well through SNMP. So, just back into some deployment sort of scenarios that in the wireless space we talk about almost on a routine basis. And, there's a little bit of education. What OFDM and MIMO capability improves non-line of sight capabilities of the radio equipment, and this is a way for us to explain how radios have improved over the years. In the past, line of sight was really required. You really had to have almost no obstructions. Not only did you have to have no obstructions between the radio itself, where you're seeing the other endpoint, but within this sort of zone, if you look at, right, this sort of band that you look at that's color-coded, there also had to be no obstructions in even this band. Because if you had obstructions within the band and the technology of the wireless equipment that you're deploying requires line of sight, then you're going to get more retransmits, more retries, packet errors, a number of different things that if the performance of the link is very important, latency is very important, and throughput is very important, you're going to have a poor experience. Right? And so what OFDM and MIMO brings, and this is technology that has been incorporated into our 8100 product line, is the capabilities of, not necessarily guarantees of, but at least the enablement or the capabilities of providing better near line of sight and better non-line of sight connectivity. And so it will ultimately really depend depend on the deployment that you're talking about. But with the enhancement of OFDM and MIMO technologies into the Proxim flagship product, which is our 8000 series product line, the 8100s and the 8200 product line, we enable deployments that are much more robust. And so even if you have some near line of sight obstructions, you can take a look at it, via sort of either RSCs helping you guys to work out a specific customer install, taking a look at all of these connections have been greatly enhanced and improved by the addition of these capabilities within our radios. And so these are important points. It allows you to be able to connect points that you otherwise may not be able to connect with previous wireless generation products. So wireless outdoor router protocol, what we call WARP. This is a sort of proprietary technology that we have built up over the years inside Proxim that really provides you with a sort of layer 2 scheduler that is a guaranteed connectivity between 2 points versus sort of standard wireless equipment, the standard wireless equipment, Wi-Fi specifically. And it enables the LA County and the folks to get that turnaround time of 1 second polling to all traffic signals. Without this technology, it wouldn't be possible. And so providing the layer 2 scheduler, providing the QoS management, really enabling the sort of service class availability, SLAs, capabilities for a carrier, whether you're a service provider or whether you're an operator looking to deploy just really a surveillance network. All of these technologies and features are built into the WARP protocol and then built into our products and our offerings. Another piece that's important to keep in mind is the availability of the channel bandwidth that you have between 2 points, right? Whether you have 5 megahertz of channel available to you, which is small, which means that you have lots of interference within the environment that you're in, and many other radios deployed within the same geographic territories, or you have 40 megahertz channels available to you. That's really going to depend on how fast you go with the equipment. So it's just like traffic, right? You may have a highway with 5 lanes, but if you have, if it's rush hour, all those 5 lanes are completely congested with cars, and so the speed at which you're the speed at which you're going down the highway, maybe 10 miles, 20 miles per hour. If nobody's driving on the highway and you're driving at midnight, let's say, on one of these highways, then you're probably traveling at 70 miles per hour, 65, much faster than you would normally drive if you were in traffic congestion. And so this is the same with wireless equipment. Depending on the availability of the sort of channel bandwidth and the lack of other radio equipment in the sort of unlicensed space, and this is really reflected in specifically more unlicensed wireless deployments versus licensed. In unlicensed deployments, you're going to have to be concerned about how much channel bandwidth is available to you, and that will set up how fast you can basically connect to endpoints and how much data you can transmit between 2 points. So then on to data rate selection. So while that's pretty sophisticated, how do I know in advance, when I deploy this equipment, how much bandwidth is available to me? I can't see it. It's not like traffic where I can go in the highway and I can know how much, how many cars are coming down the highway. So we have technology built into the products that enable the radios to dynamically select the type of modulation that is set for optimal performance, right? So for optimal performance, the radio will be able to set and sense basically the interference that is particular within this environment and that deployment, and self-adjust basically the settings to go as fast as it can go when it can go fast, and then to ratchet down sort of the speed at which it's transmitting data from endpoint A to endpoint B when there's more interference from the environment. And so you're not losing a connection between point A to point B. And so these things are very important. When you set up a very rigid wireless link and it doesn't have these sort of dynamic data rate selection type of technologies, your link may go down if you have a small interference, because all of a sudden, one endpoint can't hear the other endpoint and that link goes down. With this technology, it's dynamic. It senses, there may be some interference. Why don't we step down a modulation and then try to transmit a little bit less data, and hopefully that has a more successful way of getting to the other end. And so, that's sort of a backdrop to, one, video surveillance in general, some of the applications and some of the case studies that we have at Proxim that you can reference, and you can get more information online as well as some of the technologies, a real brief overview of some of the technologies that we've incorporated into our product portfolio. This is a URL link on this particular page, proxim.com/solutions/video surveillance, where you can go in, learn a little bit more about the video surveillance specifically in terms of an application, specifically on an application, as well as a white paper. There's some case studies there that you can actually take a look at, which you can read directly online, or you can download the PDF directly to take a look at. You can take a look at some information online. I'd like to also take some time to review, as a partner or maybe as a potential partner that's considering looking at Proxim much more seriously. We've got a number of different marketing partner programs in place. And so we've got a demo program in place that allows the Moonbling to be able to provide to you greatly discounted equipment from Proxim, so that for them, they're able to basically have equipment that can be able to demonstrate some of the things that we talked about, and it provides greatly discounted equipment to our partners at greatly reduced rates, 60% off of MSRPs, so that you can touch, feel, test the equipment that we're talking about. There's a bit of a limit in terms of how much demo gear you can buy. The intent of the demo program is so that you can get test equipment in your hands cheaply, but it isn't meant as a way to actually buy equipment for actual customer installations cheaply, right? That's something else. And so we want to be able to provide you with equipment as cheap as possible, so that you can test our equipment and learn our equipment and understand our equipment. And so there's a program related to demo gear. We have a VIP pass program. It's a fast track to platinum level. If you want to find out more information about our tiered partner programs, where we provide many things, access to funds, discounts on products, access to resources internally, whether that be information or actual folks internally to help you with customers and projects. There's a way for for partners who aren't currently working with us today, but yet are working in this space, to be able to be fast-tracked to obtain the highest level of partner program that we have, which is what we call our platinum level. And so if you're able to generate, in terms of MSRP dollars, $150,000 of revenue of Proxim gear within a particular year, you're a platinum partner. You're one of our best partners that we have, and we want to be able to enable partners that are interested in Proxim but yet have not worked with Proxim to be able to come to our side and work with us and quickly migrate to that platinum level, where you're provided the extra pricing discounts on equipment, you're provided the extra support from sort of sales and engineering resources internally. You provide all the additional support and the best discounts that we provide to our partner base via this VIP Fast program. So if you are on the fence and you want to know more about this particular program and how you can get fast-tracked to being a platinum partner, come and talk to us.